Okay, we're going to skip up now to 4.6, and it's got a lot of sections, so we're going to be here a little while. But this first one is the easy one. We're going to do 12 through 20 even after this lesson. And what we're answering is the question, is it a factor? The actual instructions say use the factor theorem to determine whether it is a factor. So the long way to figure out if something is a factor is to just literally divide it in. So this is number 11 from your textbook. You can just divide it in with long division. But with polynomials, that is hard. Remember, what we're doing is the same thing we do with numbers. Like if I want to know is 4 a factor of 20, you can divide it in, and 4 times 5 is 20. And if it goes in an even number of times, then yes, it's a factor. That's how we do it with numbers. But with polynomials, that is a really long process. So the shortcut is to use what they call the factor theorem. And here's what you do. You take the thing you want to check, and you put it equal to 0 and solve. Usually you can do that in your head. So we have x minus 2, then we put it equal to 0, add 2 to both sides, we get x equals 2. That means we plug 2 into the equation they gave us. So for number 11 up here, this is the long thing they gave us, and this is the thing we were checking. So I did this equal to 0, I got x equals 2, and I'm going to plug 2 into that. So right there is where I've rewritten it with a 2 in place of all the x's, and then I just work that out, and when I do, I get 8. So it's 4 times 8 is 32, minus 3 times 4, that's 12, minus 16, and when I work all that out, I get 8. If you get 0, then yes, that was a factor. If you get anything else, then no, it was not a factor. Remember, what we're really doing is we're checking for a remainder. So if it has a remainder of 0, that means it went in evenly. And if it has a remainder of anything else, it means it did not go evenly, so it was not a factor. So then I did number 16 right here. So they asked me to check x minus 2 again, but it's not always x minus 2. I put that equal to 0 and solved it, and then I take that answer and I plug it in. So right up here, I replace all the x's with 2's. I worked that out. I got 0, so yes, it is a factor. This one, no, was not a factor because we did not get 0. Number 19 is a little trickier because now we have x minus 1/2. So when I add that 1/2 to both sides, what I have to plug in is 1/2, which takes a little bit more creativity, but you can do the whole thing in a calculator. So if I'm going to try to copy this into my calculator all in one go, I do 2 times, and then in my parentheses, I want to put the 1/2. So I do 1, and then over that little fraction button right here, 2, parentheses, to the 4th. So that's the first part, and now I need minus 1/2 to the 3rd. So minus, parentheses, 1/2, because otherwise it might just raise half of the fraction to the 3rd, so I make sure I put it in parentheses, to the 3rd. And now I need to add 2 times 1/2. You can probably do that in your head. Notice you don't even have to put the times. If I just write 2 by the parentheses, exactly the way it is in the problem, my calculator will understand that and do it correctly. And then minus 1 equals, and because my answer is 0, then yes, it is a factor. So for this first section, that's all you have to do. Look at this, figure out what number to plug in. So for this one, I would plug in a -3. For this one, I would plug in a -4. You stick it into here. If you get 0, the answer is yes. If you get anything else, the answer is no.